I actually like your first question there. If your deepest, most divine self had a message for you, what would it be? I love that.
Yeah, well, I started, once I realized other people wanted to read these letters, I started just casting out, almost like I was, like I said, casting out, almost like you're casting out a fishing line to the collective consciousness. What does the world need to hear today? Right. And it's quite a beautiful practice for me. Because I wake up in the morning and I feel the world. And what that means is sometimes I feel the world's pain, but I also feel a great intimacy with people I've never met, people who read these love letters, and it's the sweetest thing, Bernie, because people respond. They just hit reply to the email, and they write, "Dear Inner Pilot Light," and they write back. And it's so sweet. It touches my heart so deeply. So it's really a beautiful practice, and anybody can do this. So we just, as part of the book launch for this book, we had a contest, and we asked the Daily Flame readers. We said, well, we have 10 books we'll give away to people who write their own Daily Flame, and we got hundreds of submissions, and I can't tell you, I just cried reading these beautiful things because I realized they got it. And we wound up, the past 2 months, we've only been publishing the Daily Flame love letters that our readers wrote. And they're exquisite. I kind of feel like I should quit.
It's a great idea.
They're so beautiful. I can't even, it just, it absolutely, moved me to tears to realize that the transmission of what this voice can sound like and what it doesn't sound like really got through, and it was so moving. And a few of them we were like, oh, we cannot publish this because I'll tell you what the voice doesn't sound like. It never bullies you. That's the big thing. There's no shaming. There's no, you should do this. It's never like that. It's always an invitation. And there's always a radical kind of unconditional love for, for even the parts that are hard for people to love, like even your rage part, or your addict part, or your suicide part, or the part that gets you in trouble. This is the essence of your being that loves even those parts because they know they're just trying to protect you.
The thing I learned was don't kill yourself, eliminate what's killing you. And the biblical line, he who seeks to save his life will lose it. So many of us give up our lives to please everybody else. So your parents don't throw you out of the house, they pay for your education, whatever it is, and you end up becoming who they want. And then something comes along in your life, and which can often include a life-threatening illness, and then you say, well, I'm going to become the person I want to be. And, it's like lighting that flame. I remember one lawyer who wanted to be a violinist, and his parents would not let him do that. He had to go to law school. And then he developed cancer. And he said, I shut my office, and I'm playing the violin, and I got a job in an orchestra. And, of course, he didn't die of cancer, because he's living his life now. And his body gets that message. And I think, again, what's in your book, my book, love your life, love your body. I know people literally, let me just mention this, who sat naked in front of a mirror. This was a young woman who had polio as a child, so she hated her body. And then she developed a neurological problems, becoming paralyzed. And she said, I don't want to die hating my body. So I sat naked in front of the mirror, loving my body inch by inch. And she said, literally, she would start at her toes and go through the rest of her body. And, of course, what was the result again? She didn't die of the neurological, deterioration and disease. And that self-love, it makes such a difference.
Well, people talk about self-love, but they also often don't teach you how. And this is kind of the how. It's like this is the spark inside of you that can love all of you.
Yeah, you become their coach.
That's right. Can I read a little poem here, Bernie? This is something that someone wrote as part of the contest. I'm a terrible marketer. I should probably read from my own book, but I was so moved. I was so touched by this poem.
As long as it's in English, go ahead.
It's in English. The woman who wrote it, her name is Selena Kumbu, so she's one of the readers. Here, take my hand, child. Don't be afraid. Don't gaze up at me suspicious. Don't you recognize my face? Think, child. See me. Don't you know my name? I was there when you were born, child. You and I are the same. I saw you when you were lonely, cried when I found you in pain, got you up in the morning, made you catch your train, watched you clean up the mess again and again, rubbed your brow when you were sleeping, felt you going insane from listening over and over to the same tired refrain. Not to worry, I am here now. No, child, don't you fret. Your cheeks will dry in time, child. Your path is not yet set. I've always been beside you, even when all seemed lost. Saw you holding an abacus when you were counting all the costs. Come home to me, baby. I've always been here. It's time for a new chapter. It's time to shift up a gear. Let's face the future together, love. Let's go to the moon and back. Let's compose a new beginning. Let's mix a brand new track. I'll step up to do the vocals. You can hop onto the decks. It's time to surrender to the music and let life take care of the rest. Look to me when you are lonely. Call on me when you are stressed. For I am your inner pilot light, and I glow deep within your chest.
Beautiful. What can you say?
Profound.
Beautiful. I will make one comment. Don't worry about rhyming, because when I would write poems and all the feelings would pour out, some people would say to me, it doesn't rhyme. It's not a poem. And I'd look at them like, that isn't the issue. It's bringing forth what's within you. So just to all those people out there who were like me, don't worry about what others think of your writing or your poems. Write them and let the feelings come flowing. And it will make an enormous difference in your life. Yeah, you see, we're all quiet now because I mean it. You can't help but be affected by something as beautiful as that. And for a child to, I'm remembering one of my poems now. I was writing a poem a day to get my feelings out, and one of the poems is, I didn't write a poem today, I met one. I met this child, and it really entered my mind. This is poetry, This beautiful little child is a poem. And, we start seeing each other that way and seeing the world in a different light. It just changes everything for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't worry.
We need to take our next break. Okay. So everyone, stay with Dr. Bernie Siegel and his guest, Dr. Lissa Rankin.
Join Dr. Bernie Siegel on Mind Health Matters every week, Wednesday through Friday, 12 p.m. and 12 a.m. Eastern Time on Dreamvisions 7 Radio Network. Bernie will draw from his inspirational personal journey, offering us special nuggets of his sacred wisdom. Listen in as Bernie reminds us to be fully engaged in life.
Dr. Bernie Siegel's writings and the 12 books he's published so far reflect his passion to reach people struggling with all of life's challenges. His latest, A Book of Miracles, inspiring true stories of healing, gratitude, and love, is both riveting and belief-expanding. Bernie has produced wonderful resources for everyone, like 365 prescriptions for the soul, daily messages of inspiration, hope, and love, and faith, hope, and healing. Bernie's books also include those like Love, Magic, and Mud Pies, a great resource for parents, and delightful loving stories like Buddy's Candle to help children of all ages cope with the loss of a loved one, be it a pet or a parent. To purchase Bernie's books, CDs, or DVDs, go to BernieSiegelMD.com. And while you're there, empower the mind, body, and spirit with Bernie's heartwarming articles.
Looking for a fun and relaxing getaway? Omega's Rest and Rejuvenation Retreats are a great way to unwind and renew your spirit. Stroll through the garden, relax by the lake, or try a daily yoga or movement class. You can stretch your body, quiet your mind, and do as much or as little as you choose. Located in Rhinebeck, New York, just 90 miles north of New York City, Omega's natural environment and quiet pace allow for extraordinary experiences to unfold. Learn more at eomega.org.
After narrowly surviving the attack on Sandy Hook Elementary, first grade teacher Caitlin Roy DeBellis was left searching for answers that would never come. Eventually, she chose to focus on questions that could be answered. How do I make sure this tragedy doesn't define us? How do we get our control back? Those two questions led her to found the 501c3 nonprofit organization Classes for Classes. When gifts poured into their classroom, she decided they would help someone else by paying it forward and being kind. This developed into a social network which allows K-8 classrooms to connect so that every student in the United States can learn these crucial lessons. Classes for Classes' mission is to build students' social-emotional intelligence by connecting them to care. All C4C projects are crowdfunded. Any teacher in the U.S. can visit classesforclasses.org. That's classes, the number 4, classes.org. Sign up today.
This is Dreamvisions 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
And we are back. Now, if you'd like to save some cash on Bernie's books and items, you can go to wisdomoftheages.biz. That's B-I-Z. That is his son and daughter-in-law, Jane and Keith Siegel's Wisdom of the Ages shop in Connecticut. When you're ordering items online, you just put code 27 in the comment box, and you'll receive 15% off of Bernie's items. You can get in touch with Bernie, read his articles, right on his website, Bernie Siegel, SIEGELMD.com, BernieSiegelMD.com. And for Lissa, you can get the book, The Daily Flame, 365 Love Letters from Your Inner Pilot Light. I love how you shared about your mom, Lissa. You can get that book anywhere, and her site is LissaRankin.com. Lissa is spelled L-I-S-S-A, Rankin, R-A-N-K-I-N. Back to you, Bernie.
Okay. Can I just add one thing? Because the book's website is actually innerpilotlight.com, and there's a whole bunch of free stuff there as well.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One of the things, talking about some of the mystical, your mother and my wife died a year ago, January, and the mystical experiences have been unbelievable. And that's one thing I know, that we don't die. You know what I mean? The body dies, but our consciousness, because my wife and I have been communicating since. I won't get into all the details, but a big part of it has been pennies from heaven. Just finding pennies and coins. And well, let me just give you one crazy little example. My winter gloves wore out, so I said to my wife in heaven, I need a new pair of gloves. I go shopping, park the car, come back, and by the driver's seat, a pair of gloves are lying on the ground. And no cars were different, you know what I mean? It wasn't somebody dropped them when they got in their car to back away. But it is just unbelievable. Well, on the other day, I'll tell you one more. We have a dog and a bunch of cats, and I was walking the dog, and I said, I haven't had a penny from you in a while. Could you send me one? The next day, walking on the same path, exactly where I said I want a penny, was a penny on the ground. And, I keep saying, you can't call those, just lucky things that happen, coincidences. It's just unbelievably amazing, related to my health, related to my life, and everything else. So, we have to open to the mystical, whether you call them love letters or prescriptions or anything else. It's open to the nature of life and to the mystical.
Well, it's way more fun when you do, because my experience of interfacing with this aspect that I call your inner pilot light is that it is very mystical, and everything begins to feel kind of alive and radiant and participating, communicating.
Right.
It's very very heart-opening experience to discover that somebody's listening.
One humorous one, I have to tell you. After my wife had died, I'm sleeping alone in the bed, and I hear a sound, a human sound. And I sit up and I said, honey, are you having a problem? Can I help you? And then I busted out laughing because, it's like I'm saying to myself, hey, stupid, your wife died. Who are you